Hello everyone and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine and tonight I'm going to be making another layout for my March Madness series, which entails a sketch from Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. You can find all of the information on that in the Facebook group, which is linked in the description box. Our sketch creator today is Natalie Dill. I also have her information linked in the description box. And what else can I tell you? This is the sketch here. There's a lot going on that sketch. So hopefully, oh, now we're in stereo. So hopefully I can get some of that stuff happening, but we got a lot of mixed media happening around the outside. This is all like leaves and stuff and a big bow. I'm just going to do like general embellishing up there. There's one photo, a title, and some like what looks like torn paper to me. So that is where we're going to start. So with that sketch in mind, let's go ahead and talk about what's already been done. So I grabbed this white cardstock and I did the smooshing technique to get some of that mixed media look happening, and I used Stormy Sky Distress ink for that. And then I did some inking in Black Soot Distress Oxide ink, and I used this stencil again from Paper Rose, just in this corner and in that corner. And then I did some splattering with Shimmer's Vibes Before Dawn sprinkling, and I think I used a turquoise one too, but now I can't remember what the name of it was. So that's on there. And then I added some torn washi tape too, because I thought it's really hard to see on my printout. I fixed my printer today too. That was fun. It looks like a torn washi in there and up here. So I did that also. So we got some torn washi in two spots. Then what else did I do? Oh, I doodled around the outside of my page and made some little markings on there just to kind of contain the layout. And I think that's about it for the base of the layout. Then I cut down some papers. The next layer I'm going to put is this really cool ivory vellum. So I think I'm just going to center that into the page there. Let me just grab a ruler because I have a hard time. My depth perception is not stellar. So I have a hard time with vellum and things. They don't always look like they're in the right spot, even if they are. So I'm just going to put a little X in the middle because it's going to mostly get covered up in the center. Maybe I'll ink the edges of this too. I'm going to use some black soot today. I thought about switching to Stormy Sky. I think I'm just going to go ahead with this one. How's everybody doing today? It's Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. So I'm thinking, how big was this? This was 9.5. So if it's 9.5 and I want to center it, it's going to be like, what are we thinking? Like 1 1.25, right? That's what it's going to be. So let's do 1 1/4 from there first. So 1 1/4 from the bottom, and then 1 1/4 from the left, and then that should leave 1 1/4 on the right. Yes, it does. Okay, so I did the math correctly. There we go. So that's my vellum sheet, and it just adds that extra layer without taking away from all that really pretty mixed media. So there's that. Next up, we are going to put on this piece. So I already went ahead and did some of the things because some of it I wasn't sure about, and I thought if I'm going to scrap this, I better do it now. So this bottom, or this wood grain paper, is from Kaiser Craft. It's an older collection called Island Escape. And yeah, so that's where I started. I cut that. It had like this sand part at the bottom and then a wood grain. So I was like, well, that's kind of fun. So I went ahead with that one. And I'll ink the edges of this while I tell you where I got all the other stuff. So this was in my color bins. So you've seen me open up those color bins and look for like labels and Viewmasters and all of those kinds of things. So I was looking for some stuff and I found this little scalloped edge piece. And I'm like, you know what? That matches really cool with what I have going on here. So I'm going to add it to my layout. So I pulled that and I got it on there. That's going to be my scallops point for my 30 or for my Calvin ball today. Then I stamped on it using my stitching stamp. This one's from Close to My Heart, but I do have another alternative that's currently available from Woodware Stamps linked in the description box if you're interested in one of those. And then I also got my title starter onto this part of the page. So I am going to just try to line that up on top of the vellum. And it gives just that little bit of a halo around there. Okay, now I already had washi on here, but I couldn't resist this little skull and crossbones washi. It's a Disney washi actually, but I thought it was really cute for pirate, like Goonies kind of stuff. So there's that. Then I grabbed rub-ons that were in this. Okay, so I grabbed a couple of things. I grabbed beach because we were at the beach, but it's not like summery beach. So I grabbed some beach things and I also grabbed my pirate stuff. So that's where most of this stuff is coming from. Just gonna get that off my desk actually. And in the beach one was this old 2003 Making Memories rub-on sheet. So I tested it on this scrap of paper torn off of the bottom of here, right? And it worked. So I used where it says Paradise Found, I used the found here and I put Goonies Rock Found because that's what my photo is of. The Goonies Rock. That's what I call it. It actually has a name. I looked it up. It's called Haystack Rock, which actually makes more sense. But in my mind, it's the Goonies Rock because it is featured in that movie. So that's what my journaling was about. So that's my really old stash because that's more than 20 years old and my rub-on. And I can't believe it actually worked. I was like, these aren't going to work. It did. I was like, what? Wait. Okay. So then I also, in that beach kit or whatever you want to call it, I found this die cut piece that was from something else, but I really like how it is. So I used that. And I grabbed this plaid because I was like, plaid is one of my Calvin ball points. So we're going to use that and layer it up. And then this gray cardstock that I used to map my journaling, I thought I'm going to use another one of those and get some hexagon points and some embossing points and some white pen points. And we're going to get another layer under there. So I'm thinking like this, right? And we're just going to layer it up, get my photo in there. Something like that. We already talked about the stencil, so I feel like it can go back where it came from. Oh, and I wanted to, okay, so then I also have a doily that I grabbed that was sitting on top of there. Okay, so those are the things that I kind of got. In the sketch, she has a bunch of layering in behind the title, but because I wanted to use the rub-on, I didn't do that. I got my other word alphas from my Pirates pack that had a couple of different things in it. It had this old basic gray one. And I might use a couple of these stickers down here too, but that's where the word rock came from. And then Goonies came from this pirate one from Pirate's Life, it says, and it was an Echo Park collection. I don't see a year or anything on it, but it's pretty old. And I might use this word strip sticker that says X marks the spot because I thought that would be cute with my title. And then I have a couple of other in that pirate pack. I have a couple of sticker sheets. So I'll also look on there and see if there's anything I want to add. Then I went and grabbed a whole bunch of little things. So we'll start getting some of the things that I grabbed and see if we want to add things to our layout. We'll start with some of the bigger stuff. We will see where some of this ends up. The date, also important. We have this kind of like tag that I made, similar to the one I did yesterday. And then I have these wild brads. Check these out. Where's the other one? Look at these. These are old. I can't remember what company they're from. They were just loose in that bag with the pirate stuff though. So I was like, those are fun. I might add those to my layout. But now that I'm seeing it live, I'm thinking maybe brown on brown is weird. But anyway, we don't need to worry about that just yet. So I was thinking my frame can go in here somewhere. And then I thought my film strip could go down here with these layers. So that's what I was kind of going for. What other big pieces do I have? I might have to glue some of these stickers down. Like I said, they're pretty old, but I don't know how old. They're just not staying is all I know for sure. My label with my date on it. I also have this tab. It says the scoop on this side, but I think I'm just going to use it for the blue. Just maybe tuck it under my label because when I tried to stamp my date on it, it was too long that way. So I thought I would just layer them up somehow. What else do I have in here? Okay. Viewfinder. I was going to talk to you guys about these. So I've been using these throughout the series since it's been added to the list, and I had some questions about where do you get those. So I was going to talk about that, and I did link her website in the description box for this video. These are from Nicole Jones 911. I have a bunch of different ones, and I know I needed to print them anyway, so I'm like, you know what? I'll print them because I was fixing my printer. So I printed a bunch so you could see what they look like. So this is the, I think, like grayscale version. This is the pastel version. I can't remember what this one's called, like rainbow or bright. I can't remember. And then this one's like something about spice. It's supposed to be like a fall collection. So the thing that I love the most about these is that they tell you what size your circle is. So when I buy them, I know I have a 1.5 inch circle punch. So I can just go ahead and print these, and I don't have to fussy cut them because I know that they're 1.5 inches and I can just punch them out, right? Oops. So I just line it up in there and then punch it out. And then they go into my little iris containers, the color bins, in their appropriate color so that when I need them, I can find them. So I thought I would share that with you. These ones are a different pattern. They don't have the heart in the center, and they are, I think, 2-inch. But it tells you when you buy it. So you know, like, do I have a 2-inch punch? Do I have a 2-inch die? How am I going to cut these out? So it tells you how big they are so you can check your supplies and make sure you have what you need. Or you can always fussy cut them with your scissors if you like. So I just thought I would share that with you as I pull that out for my layout. And these ones, obviously I printed on white cardstock, but these ones I printed on ivory cardstock. And I just thought it would give it a different look, which it does. And then I can add it to my layout, and it brings that ivory color that I have here over to here. Yeah. Okay. So now I can move those because we've talked about that. Just trying to keep the stuff that I'm not using off my desk because it's getting a little crowded up here. Same with this. We talked about that already. Okay. So I have all these little things that could potentially go on the layout. I'll try to get them all on here, but I'm not going to make any promises. So I grabbed a little sloth because if you're a Goonies fan, you know that one of the characters is nicknamed Sloth. And so I thought it was appropriate to have a sloth on my Goonies page. He might just tuck in with my skull and crossbones because he's so cute. And I also grabbed a bunch of little things. So I did grab some scraps that I thought would be useful in terms of getting points, but then I also thought that they were the right colors. So there's a music note one and a glitter one, and they match in color to my layout. So I thought I could get some of those on here. I punched 5, but I could probably get away with 3, right? Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Then I already have brads on here, but I had this little seahorse brad that was in there, so I could use this if I want. What else? I went looking for buttons, and they had these little, they're like sea stars, these little sea star buttons. So I'm going to put those on here somewhere. Maybe just underlining my title. They're super cute. And I feel like that covers the star thing. I found these teeny little tags when I was looking for, in my bin, I was actually looking for a camera, which I don't know. This is a camera, but I don't love it. And I found these little tiny tags, and I added an eyelet and some twine. And I thought it could layer up under here too, or it could layer up under here. Can get that on there. This is a different tag. It's a transparency tag, but I think I'm going to skip that. I have a gear and a clock that I thought I could kind of layer up. Maybe my camera can go in there too. I don't know. Get some more circles on here. Maybe some blue down here. Something like that. A cloud. It's just punched out of vellum. It was just sitting here beside me. This is different kind of gears. I'm going to get rid of those ones. I'm not going to use this green brad. Music note. Okay, I think we're working again. I don't know. I don't know what else I can do. I even reset the modem before I came on. I tried all the things. It's just a bad service. We're switching services. Enough is enough, right? I inked the wrong side. Well, that was fun. Yay me. Oh, so distracted. Okay, we got that. Now I'm going to put some glue on the back. We got the ink on. This is my next piece that I'm going to layer on. And then my plaid piece. Is that inked on the edges? Not yet. So the papers came from the beach collection that I pulled out, but the embellishments mostly came from either my pirate pack that I pulled out, or they came from my like little, what do you call them? Embellishment boxes, my colored iris container bits and pieces. I'll put this back on here. It's gonna stick. Oh, look, the sun is shining. Hi, sunshine. It's been kind of gloomy here today, so that's kind of nice to see. Okay, and then we want our photo. And yes, I sometimes ink the edges of my photos. There we go. And then we'll do the edge of this one. Get that on there. I love these viewfinders. They really are some of my favorite embellishments. I wish they were in more collections, but like I said, I do love too that I have them in a printable format so that I can reprint as many times as I like. But honestly, they do go a long way. Like that's, I think, the first time I've done a reprint for myself. I've printed some to share with my mama. But okay, let's see. Do I want my date to go up here somewhere maybe? Yeah, I think so. And it can go with my little paper clip too. Okay, so we got that. What else? Want our little tags up here? I think they're pretty cute. Got these little mini tags going. I'm gonna use some white glue because they are a bit heavy with that eyelet in there. And then these are a bit tricky to put in, so I might leave that till after I turn off the camera because it does take a minute. Get that. We'll get our what do you call it? Journaling adhered down. Got some adhesive on the back of this one. And I inked the edges of the ivory, but I don't think I inked the edges of the gray outline that I put on there. And then I'll just maybe pop this up over here. So my journaling says, I'm an 80s kid and The Goonies is one of my favorite movies. So this landmark from the movie was one that I recognized right away. This basalt sea stack rises 235 feet from the edge of the shoreline and is part of the geological history formed millions of years ago by lava flows that created many of the dramatic capes and headlands on the Oregon coast. Haystack Rock has been featured in countless novels, television programs, but the way that I know it is from when a group of adventurous teenagers used this landmark to line up with the One-Eyed Willie treasure map as they search for a way to save their homes. So that's a little combo deal of like my own personal attachment to it and then also the facts. So this will also go in my Roadside Attractions album. Although it's not a man-made attraction, I feel like it was something that I stopped to see. Okay, and then this, I'll just put a little tack of glue on the one side and tuck it under the doily. So this is just punched out of like a silver vellum, I guess, paper. So it can go there. I don't know about this clock piece though. Not loving where it's at. We'll see. Maybe I need a brad in that one too. I was gonna put something else, but I don't know. We shall see. For now, I'm just gonna layer this up under there and add some blue onto the layout. And it's folded for my folded point on Calvin Ball. We have a folded tab. I'm going to use this side, and then so I'll put glue on. I mean, I could use the part that says the scoop, but I want to be able to cover it up too, so I don't want it to have words on it. So we have our bird, we have our banners, we have our clock piece. Do we want the clock piece under there? Or is that too much? I just don't know. Maybe my clock can go down here and my love can go in the center of that. I like that better. I don't know about the camera. I might skip the camera. Okay, let's get some of this stuff laid down. So we have our film strip piece. These are from 49 in Market. This one is from the Spectrum Gardenia white and black pack, which is my fave. And then I have this one, which is a stamped piece that's in those color bins that you saw before. I just stamped a bunch one time and put them in there while I was playing with some stamps. Oh, I think I'm going to do it this way. And then it has, I stapled on some polka dot ribbon to go on. And I want this on there, but like I said, those are a bit tricky to put on, so I'm going to leave that guy till after. I think I'm going to put this in behind so we have some color, some of that turquoise / blue color coming around our layout, right? And happening in a few different places. This is my gear piece. Again, another stamped image that I just have in those color bins. So that'll go there. My sloth also, he's going to go here somewhere too. He's a very important part of the story. And then I was thinking I could put a little flower down here, and maybe my little tree can go somewhere here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 different wood veneer pieces, right? Okay, so let's see what time it is. Are we good for time still? Yeah, we're okay. So I'm going to put these buttons down with some glue dots because they're the only thing really that works with buttons as far as I can tell. And then I think I'm going to just pop this clock in here with the brad. I think that's what's going to hold it to the paper. There. Okay. And then some sea star little buttons. They're so cute. Oh, I know what I'm missing that I pulled out already, but they weren't in that bucket, so I kind of forgot. They are cork pieces, but I have some cool ones that I found that weren't in with the other cork pieces that I was pulling from. Or no, these aren't cork. That's why. They weren't cork, but they were burlap. But I was like, no, I really like these. So I might use them anyway. Okay. I thought they were cork when I was first looking at them. No, they're burlap, but I might use them anyway. So we have, the reason I pulled them was for the geotag. So I feel like we could get the geotag in here somewhere. And then also the ampersand is on our list as well. Should I put it down here? I think so. Ampersand. We also have a speech bubble, but did I want to use nah? I like having these in 3s, so we'll put this one up here. Okay. So we got our little sea stars. We got, I think I'm going to put this little chipboard heart that was just kind of, it was actually loose. And it's from that, it came from the Vicky Bouton stuff, and it fell out of that pack that you've been seeing me use this month with all the chipboard frames. It was stuck in there somehow. And so I just tossed it to the side, and it's been loose on my table beside me for a while. So I'm like, yep, I can use that. Okay. So then maybe like this. Okay. So we have those. There's a few things I'll glue down after or get attached after, like these brads, these little wood pieces, these brads here. Okay, so we got those. You know what I haven't used is any of my mesh. Where do I want that? Let's see. I'm sure I can find a spot for it. It's fun stuff. The puppy next door is telling me stories. I don't know if you can hear her, but she cracks me up. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck it under that journaling block. That is not happening. I'm going to have to put the adhesive right onto the paper because it's not going to stick to the... Uh-oh. Got that on my picture. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay. There. Look at that. Get behind my feather. Okay. Got that on there. Okay. We're going to skip the hearts. We might use these puffies. I think that these could be like my little X marks the spot. What do you think? I thought I could turn them into X's. I thought they would be cute. So let's see. Could go X, X, and X. Nice. Very nicely done. I better put this away before it dries out and doesn't let me close it. Okay. So we've got puffies on there. Just gotta keep sliding. Keep pushing him up off the page, don't I? The homemade, no, the treasure chest is like, it's Brad's. So it's like, I bought it, but they're old. They're like from the maybe early 2000s, I guess. And I can't remember what company they were, just loose in the book. But this is from that same pack. It's Brad's also. So the eyes are Brad's on this one, and the coins are Brad's on this one. And they're like metal pieces to attach on. So then I have my slow it down, Nadine, slow it down. Seashell sequins. I have speaking issues. Okay. So, you know what I could do is put one on each of these banners would be cute. Okay, so we got sequins on there. And then I want to look at my sticker sheets. I also have this cork stuff. Now, is there a good place? Oh, there we go. So we don't need the speech bubble anymore. We also have leaves is on the list. So we could do some little leaves down here by my heart. There we go. Okay. And then sticker sheets. Okay. So I was thinking from this one, I want a word strip sticker. So that's one of our Calvin ball points, right? X marks the spot. And I thought that could go here. So I'm going to ink the edges. I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive on that one because it's still sticky, but it's kind of old. There we go. X marks the spot. Okay, so we have a word strip sticker. I looked at banners and arrows. What else did I think might go on here? Well, there is a quote from Emerson on here, but which is one of the things on the list. It says quote, but it's red, and I don't have anything else red on the whole layout, so I'm not going to put that on there. I do like this flag. Flag's not on the list anymore, but I still like it, so it can still go on here. Too blendy. There we go. Just put it in behind here. Trying too hard. I could just cut this off. Okay. And then enamel dots. I just kept these ones from yesterday, and I figured we could probably use a variety of them. So we have some dark and some light. What else? Like a different blue. Could use this one. There we go. And then we'll do the same up in the other corner. We'll use a bigger one and then two little ones. And one more. Just right there. Okay. So let's pull out, I think we definitely did the sketch some justice. We got some mixed media around the outside. We have that torn edge at the bottom. We have like a square block in the center. Our title in the corner, our one photo off to the side. And that's about the size of it. This is our last sketch. Christy did add a bonus sketch for 30 days of sketches. So we actually have 31. And that's for tomorrow. So I will come on here tomorrow and see about one more video. I feel like I can sneak this camera in somewhere. There we go. But I want it to be facing into the layout. So we'll do like that. The flag is a must. I agree. Thanks for agreeing with me, Alana, my Goonies partner. Okay, so I can't remember what I had done one time when I was a kid, but I was probably out on some wild adventure that I shouldn't have been on. And I remember getting in trouble and telling my parents. That I was a goonie and I had to. And I still got in a lot of trouble for whatever it was that I did. I think it had something to do with riding my bike on a log across a river. But anyway. Okay. We were camping. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Oops, throwing stuff on the floor. Okay, let's see how much lifting up I'm gonna do. So did I already say I got 100 points yesterday? That put me to 2,011 points. And I'm still 7th place on the list. So let's see. And I will not get past that point. I'll probably drop in places, not get higher, because the next people up are like 300 points ahead of me, and I'm only going to do 2 more. Well, this one and tomorrow's layout. So, okay. Do we have a star on here somewhere? I feel like after all of that, yeah, we have C stars. That counts. Journaling of 100. This is more than 100 words. I did a word count. Label. Yes. Selfie. No. Date. Check. Washi tape. Check. And check. Pre-March project. No. Ribbon. Check. Stitching. Check. Where did I put this? Oh, stitching here. Frame. Check. Paper clip. Check. Enamel dots, check. Hearts, check. A doily, check. Polka dots, check. Stenciling, check. Camera, check. Handwriting, check. Arrows, check. Word strip sticker, check. Film strip, check. Hexagons, check. Plaid, check. Circle, check. Birthday, no. Tag, check. Stripes, check. Twine, check. Watercolor, no. Rub-ons, check. Monochrome, no. Grid, check. Staple, check. Cut file, no, that's more of a die cut. Ombre, no. Splatter, check. Sun, no. Coffee or tea, no. Cork, cork, check. Bling. Ooh, no bling. I can add bling. What bling should we add today? It's not the one I was looking for, but it'll do. So let's add a little bling to our layout. Where should it go? Well, I feel like we could add a few up over here. So let's start with our little one and a medium and a big guy. Nope, I don't like them there. Covering up my doodling, my very important doodling. There we go. Okay, so we got bling on there. What's next? Embossing, check. Torn paper, check. What else? Green. No, I don't think I put anything green on here. Did I? Well, I guess this tag back here is mint green. Rainbow. No. Gold. Check. Literally gold. And a treasure box. Finish a product. No, I didn't do that. Nope, because I still have one more of these. Okay, die cuts. Yes, check. Buttons. Check. Puffy stickers. Check. Multi-font title. Check. Feather. Check. Silver. Did I put something silver on here? My staples are silver. Oh, and my cloud is from Silver Vellum. So that guy counts. So yes, scallops, yes. Although most of them are covered up in the end, aren't they? Scallops, clock, check. The word love, check. Acetate, check. Use a punch. I used a punch, this little banner punch for my little banner pieces with my scraps up top there. Songbird, check. Wood grain, check. Doodling, check. 3 or more photos, no. Black and white photo, no. Geotag, check. Rounded corners, no. Glitter, check. Disney, no. Leaf, check. Speech bubble, check. Wax seal, no. Recycled or repurposed item, no. Wedding, nope. Texture paste, no. Ampersand, check. Okay, this temporary list. I didn't find anything newly crossed off, so I hope I'm on the right track. Can you tell me what is the title if not a die cut? The title, these are stickers, and this was a rub-on. So they're not die cut. And this cut file back here, it wasn't a cut file, it was like a metal die. So that's why. That's why this one's not a cut file. Does that make sense? I hope I'm on the right track there. Okay, so on here we have avocado, no. Music notes, yeah, we have some in that little banner there. White pen, check. Sloth, check. Memorabilia, no. Flower, check. Sketch, check. Butterfly, check. Holiday theme, we were on holiday. Cloud, check. Books, no. Wood veneer, check. Banner, check. Bee, no. Sequins, check. Hedgehog, no. Stamps, yes. Stitching stamp and a date stamp. Journaling card, no. A bow, no. Lace, we have a lace doily back here. Specialty paper, oh, that's not on the list anymore. Brad, we have a few Brads on here. Chicken, no. Fruit, no. Chipboard, yes, this little heart is a chipboard. Put away 5 layouts, no. Vellum, yes. Eyelet, is eyelet crossed off? No. Eyelet, check. It's up here on this little tag. Viewmaster, check. Ticket, oh, I didn't put a ticket on here. I'm sure I can find one. Where's my ticket bucket? Here's my little ticket bucket. Should I use one of these tickets? Or, I'm sure I have gray ones too. One of these tickets. I feel like I really like this ticket here. Here's my little ticket bucket. Oh, cut file or die cut. So a die cut is something that's cut with like a metal die, or you buy it in a pack that says die cut ephemera, right? A cut file is something that you use with your computer and you use an electronic cutting machine to cut it out. So I didn't use an electronic cutting machine for any of this. That's why cut file doesn't check the box here. Does that make more sense? Clear as mud. Okay, we got a ticket now. Photo corners, no. Old stash, well, I think that rub-on from 2003 is pretty old stash. Chevrons, yes. Chevrons on here. A deer, no. Playing card, I could put a playing card. I have these little itty bitty playing cards. I feel like One-Eyed Willie was playing games with them, so that works for me. Alana says, sorry, a lot of people use cut files and you never knew what they were. Yeah, that's what they are. They're from files from the electronic cutting machines. So Cricut or Silhouette or Brother Scan and Cut, that sort of thing. I like this one. This one has all black and white, though. I think that would go better on here, so I'm going to go with that. I love these little playing cards. They're so cute. From Jolie's. I didn't even know I had them until the other day. So all right, let's tuck these guys back on here a little bit. There we go. Okay, we have a playing card. What else? Bubbles? Nope. Quote? Nope. I decided against it because it was on red. I remember now. I'm like, wait, did I put one on? Okay, blue, yes. Yellow, no. The word spring, no. Tab, yes. Dimensional adhesive, no, I did not use any this time. Curved title, no. Something folded, our tab was folded. Listed, nope. Tree, yeah, we got a little teeny tiny tree up here. A cat, a bunny rabbit, or a unicorn, no. Turquoise or teal, yes. Nouveau drops, no. Dragonflies, no. Airplanes, no. Mesh, yeah, we got that there. The color brown, yes. Using a colored pen for journaling, no. Smooshing technique, yes. Typewriter, no. A bike, no. A shoe, no. But I feel like because the Goonies rode their bikes to the place where they found where like the map led them to, I could probably get a bike on here. I would just have to find one. I wonder if I have any in this little. I used to, but I think most of them got broken because they were so thin and so fine. And I just plow through here like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. No. Oh, but you know where I think I saw one? Hang on. Hold the phone on my sticker sheet. The traveling one. There's a little bike on here. What? Yep. You betcha. Back in the days when kids rode their bikes everywhere, right? Haha. This can go in here somewhere. So we got a bike on there too, and a shoe. No, I did not put a shoe on here, but I'll put a shoe on my layout tomorrow, so I hope she doesn't delete that one. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. X marks the spot, not a quote. Well, quoted by who? So, like, to me, a quote, and that's the thing about Calvin Ball, you kind of like make your own decisions about what things are, because you're grading yourself, really. A quote, to me, is something that, like, you know who said it, kind of a thing, which I don't know who said it. Pirates? Do pirates say it? I'll have to think that one over. I will look it up. And, oh, yeah. It might be. I don't know. I'll look it up, though. Thank you for pointing that out. It could be considered a quote, depending on how you look at it, right? I think this is crooked, and I'll have to straighten it out, but I'll get out the T-square before I glue everything down permanently. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you being here. I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties at the beginning there, but I feel like the rest of the video worked out okay. So, yeah, thanks again. I'm really excited to do my last March Madness layout tomorrow and find out all the things. Where do we stand in Calvin Ball? And then I'm excited to do my layout share. So watch for that. It should come on either April 1st or April 2nd. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And make sure you go check out Christy and her beautiful life over at her Facebook page and her YouTube channel. Make sure you check out the playlist and give some love to the other creators that you happen to watch. And if you're at all interested in an online membership group, please go check out scraphappy.org. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.